Hello and welcome back to Bricking It. So this is where we left off at the end of part 1 by Dumbledore's office build. You can see we've got the stairs and the snug nook with the mezzanine up on top, and this curved wall representing the smallest of the 3 towers that make up Dumbledore's office. So now let's build the walls to the main room. So the majority of the walls are going to be built up with these snot bricks and also these book stacks, just made out of 1x2 plate capped off with a tile on the end, which just fit onto the snot bricks to form some books on a shelf. The corners are going to be slightly different in that our books are going to be extending from 2 sides, so as we don't have 2 studded snot bricks that go in 2 directions, just make use of just the one, and that's our basic bookshelf. So if we bring back in the module, we can start fitting these into place. So our first one with the double stud, and here's our corner piece. As you can see, those 2 tile ended ones butt up, and that forms the perimeter. You can't see much of this first level, it's lost behind the stairs a bit. The other side is going to just be completely mirror imaged. We're going to build up the second layer now. Works just the same way. Not really worried about the colours of the studs in the corners. You can see I've got a yellow one here. And instead of the floor of the build, obviously we need a plate layer just below our layer of tile, which forms the bookshelf. Around our books. Made these nice and colourful. I really want to give it a bit more interest. As you can see, it's not just flat 1x2s, we've used the occasional rail piece just to give a bit of texture to the wall. So we build up our bookshelf. As this one is a bit more visible, obviously it's worth putting in these extra bits like this grey rail piece here. There we go, second level complete. Held secure by butting up against that piece from the mezzanine floor. But it is a little bit wobbly, but I'll come to that a bit later. Again, we need a tile layer to hold the next layer of bookshelves. You can see these ones aren't plated all the way along because this layer of books actually has a gap in it for a window. So we use these 2 half round tiles to make the wide book, and they're just going to go on the build here. These are simply put against a pair of headlight bricks on their side, and we want these to match in colour, not to the bricks that they're stuck onto them, but to the bricks that are next to them. So they just form a slightly wider book spine next to our large one that's sticking out. Here's our window. Nothing particularly special about that, just going to fit in the middle. This is all based on the style of the bookshelves in Dumbledore's office. And that's our 3 layers of bookshelves. The other side, as I said, complete mirror image. Here we haven't just used those half round ones for sticking out, we've got a flat sand green tile and a reddish brown ingot plate, along with those rails, just to provide a bit more visual interest to our bookshelves. And largely that is the basis of the walls complete. Now this is 8 bricks high. It's just to show you how tall we've gone. We are pretty much bang on 7 bricks. So if we were making this module normal size, this is as high as we'd be able to take our bookshelves. As you can see, these bricks go just beyond by about a plate's height, our 8 bricks tall. Now what I'm going to show you here is how we can actually display this as an 8 stud high module, so it fits in with all of the current available sets in the 20th anniversary and beyond. So let's take away all of the extra bits and bobs. I've removed the railing because we're going to lose some height in our mezzanine, so we're going to want to lower that down. We're just going to even up the height of our bookshelf I'm going to put a lower railing in just to slightly change our view of the scale of the piece. So as we can see, we're just about at 7 bricks, including this plate on here. But to help us secure the walls as they go around, we're just going to take off these 1x1s here and plate it out with slightly longer plates just to provide a bit more stability. So the back wall is plated to a mezzanine wall, and then using a couple of different plate sizes, going to keep these secure along these sides, and that will stop them swinging out. So we are back at our 7 bricks tall. So we just need one more plate brick layer on top. As we're going to be wanting to make our arches going above our steps, just need to bring these pillars up to level. Now we can put in some shallow arches, as we've only got one more brick height to play with. Can only go quite shallow, so just these 1 high 6 wide arches here. Now we're just going to complete that window on the back. So not as tall, as impressive as it will be in the final version. It just allows us to give the impression that we're looking for at the back. And to bring that up to a brick's height, just put 2 plate layers on top. And it's simply a matter of building up the rest of this layer of bricks, using those corner bricks just to secure the sides to each other, and then filling in the gaps. So this isn't quite as impressive a module as our final version will be. You miss out on quite a few of the details that are going to be in the top half of this build. And due to the nature of the bookshelves being so high, the only real way we can secure the front is with one of these 1x16s, which does level us off, but as you can see, loses us our view of those arches. There's no reason why you couldn't just exclude the windows in the middle of the bookshelves and put some slightly higher arches in, start those arches on the mezzanine floor a little lower down. There's various ways you could go about it. As you can see, we now have a, for now, complete version of Dumbledore's office. Let's remove all of these pieces, get ourselves back to where we started from. I can show you the build as I envisioned it originally. So, as we're going taller, we need more bookshelves. I'm going to put an extra layer on top here, all the way around. Again, with those slightly different visual elements of the studs and the ingots. Going to be adding in more here. The bookshelves on the side are going to stop at this level, so we do want to cap them off. So we're going to use these rail pieces just at the top to give us an impression of the top of the bookshelves, and these are going to be secured on the bricks that form the next wall up. Now, we don't have many studs available, so we're going to have to use the studs of the bricks above, just place our rail pieces on top. So you can see this one not secure at all, so we're going to have to attach that with the next layer of bricks. You can see now how much taller our office is than those 8 studs were before. So we've got some studs here for portraits of past masters, and then here's the other side, again featuring those rail pieces that are going to cap off the tops of our bookshelves. So the model's still quite flimsy. That'll all be rectified as we add to the top of the build. Here's the far sides of our arches. Stabilise that. And our central arch is yet again even taller. Got a nice height to our build. Just going to start adding some more snot bricks of various types. So of course that's slightly shorter than 2 bricks high, so we're just going to use some plates to fill in and hold that secure. Then we're going to bridge the gap, secure our arch to the wall, and yet more snot bricks. So there's our arch going up, and you can actually see our extra layer of bricks. On this side, again, some more snot, but one of the stickered portraits that came in the grand staircase gift with purchase, which is where we're going to be getting a lot of the portraits for this build. So there we see much nicer arch shapes, and again those triple arch theme that's so prevalent in Dumbledore's office. Let's start putting on our portraits. So these are a fairly random selection, again mostly from the grand staircase. We don't want them too evenly placed. They do tend to be quite a hodgepodge of positioning in the on-screen version of Dumbledore's office. Nothing at the back except for these wobbly walls, which we now need to make secure. We can fill up across the top of our arch here. A couple more rail pieces to cap off the top of the bookshelf there. A nice decorative piece just for a bit more interest in front of our arch. So now those side walls tied into the back walls, tied into our mezzanine balcony, really stiffening up the structure. Here we can see again much more clearly than in that small version. Get that nice back window. I like those two little detailed scroll pieces just above the window. For our side walls, we need to add the top hinges. They're going to join the bottom ones to hold the sides of our office on. First, let's finish the front with some more arches. We're just going to secure our final piece of side wall again with that hinge on the top. We can focus on the back of the build. Now I put this extra layer of plates across. Generally didn't need it, but I did want to add these support pieces at the back. Because my build, the back of the office is going to be against the wall, it doesn't really matter how ugly it is. If you wanted yours to be visible from both sides, obviously you would suffer from having the bookshelves visible as part of the walls. So I use these pieces just to stop the bookshelves swinging, because obviously they're largely plates sitting on top of plates, or tile on top of tile rather. So there's not security all the way around, and with a wrong press when you pick it up you can swing those bookshelves in and shatter the build. So that's the top securing those back pieces on. Just need a couple of plates on top of these two little detail finials there, and then we can fill in the top of our build. So with the addition of these last couple of bricks, that's going to be our superstructure complete. We're now ready to tile off the top. You can see on the front there we've already got some of those 1x4s with two studs just to help support our roof when we add that to the build. Otherwise it's just smooth tile all the way across. As our build goes all the way up to the very top of our structure, this tile here in the center is actually important for securing the top of our arch, making sure it doesn't all collapse. So there we have it. That is now the central core of our Dumbledore's office. We can see our bookshelves, our arches and portraits. Obviously they're still visible from the sides, but when we add the wings to our office, which will give us the details of the outer office and all the other stuff that's in Dumbledore's office, those will be covered up while the build is displayed. So thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more Hogwarts modular builds, then please subscribe to Bricking It. Bye bye.